So, why are we ending our semester together in World Mythology as Literature by reading the POPOL VUH? I have several reasons for selecting this classic compilation of Mayan myths as our last text for English 245, but one of them is that the POPOL VUH includes all the categories we have talked about this spring. Creators? Check. Fertility Deity? Check. Heroes? Check. Tricksters? Check. Truly though, when it comes to the categories of heroes and tricksters, I should declare double check. Because in the most popular part of the POPOL VUH, we will meet the trickster hero twins Hunahpu and Xbalanque. Like many mythical heroes, Hunahpu and Xbalanque descend into the underworld, in their particular case to avenge the death of their father Hun Hunahpu at the hands of the devious lords of Xibalba. Speaking of Hun Hunahpu, one interpretation of his story is that he is later resurrected to become the Mayan maize god. So he's the one I'm checking off as our fertility deity. And his parents and his twins' grandparents, Xpiyacoc and Xmucane, are two of the deities I'm checking off as creators. All in all, that's an impressively accomplished divine family tree. But I should back up from the contents for a moment to talk about what a POPOL VUH in general is and where this one in particular came from. The most common translation of the Quiche term is council book. The Quiche were Mayans who lived in the highlands of what is now known as Guatemala. As Mayans, they were members of the most literate people in what is now known as the Americas, the only civilization here to develop a full writing system. Before Mesoamerica was invaded by Europeans, the Mayans used the glyphs of their writing system to record their culture, history, and religion in these council books. Screen folds made of bark paper, they opened up to turn into long, illustrated streamers. Typically, they were read from right to left. When the Spanish arrived in Mesoamerica, they taught the scribes of peoples such as the Quiche to instead write their language from left to right using the Roman alphabet. Yet they also burned almost all the ancient council books. They thought this would hasten the conversion of the Quiche to Christianity. This particular POPOL VUH that we are reading in World Mythology as Literature is not one of the ancient council books. Instead, it is a compilation of the myths contained in them, an effort by its anonymous authors to prevent them from being lost. As far as can be determined, it was written in the mid-1500s by Quiche scribes who had been taught to write their language phonetically in the Roman alphabet by Spanish missionaries. This POPOL VUH, and the knowledge of Mayan mythology and history it contained, was kept hidden from the Spanish by the Quiche elders in the town of Chichicastenango. Around 1700, a Spanish priest named Francisco Ximenez was able to handwrite a copy of the Quiche text and to translate the POPOL VUH into Spanish. The original POPOL VUH, created by the Quiche in the 1500s, has not been seen since the early 1700s. Ximenez's copy was rediscovered in the archives of his religious order more than 100 years after his death, in the 1850s. And it wasn't until about another 100 years after that it was retranslated and republished and began to earn the respect that it deserves as one of the most important works of world mythology. I hope that after we spend the next 2 weeks reading the POPOL VUH, it will earn your respect as well.